Okay, this will be a full review, okay? No, we'll not be talking about Jurassic World, Jurassic The Lost World. We're talking about the first 1993 original film, not any of the sequels. Those will be saved for a later time. Jurassic Park, if you do not know, is a movie about these guys going to a park to see if it's basically okay, how I need to think first. Basically, to make sure it runs proper, kind of like opening a theme park. You need to make sure it's testable and people can go there and people are safe. But basically, these guys go to the island with the guy who made Jurassic Park. Okay, I'm gonna go to the movie, not the book. The movie was actually made 3 years after the book. So the movie actually didn't come out that long. And we're going for the plot. The guy who made Jurassic Park and his company have created a theme park featuring dinosaurs and plants called Jurassic Park, of course, on this island Nubrio, which is on Costa Rica. After one of the dinosaur handlers are killed by a raptor, the park's investors, represented by a lawyer, demand that experts must visit the park and clarify it's safe. Basically, this happens in zoos all the time. The animals getting wild and killing their owners. This happens in zoos all the time. I don't know why other people didn't try to make a Jurassic Park, not just in Zen. Because zoos, this stuff happens all the time. There probably are more parks with dinosaurs, and of course secret parks, but they just didn't tell us. It's always about the 4 islands in Jurassic Park, with the exception of the new one that's gonna come out in a few years. So let's get back to the story. To basically clarify, so to perform the inspections, these guys invite this guy called Ann Malcolm, while Hammond invites Dr. Alan Grant and paleobotanist Dr. Ellie Settler. Upon arrival, the group is arrived to see a wide brachiosaurus, the big sock. Everybody's shocked. We weren't shocked because we expected the movie to be about dinosaurs. At the park center, the group learns about how the dinosaurs are cloned. This is basically what the DNA tells them about the cloning and stuff. It's a cool little thing that they show. And then see the raptor hats. And during the ones they debate, they talk about cloning and the park. And Malcolm gives a harsh warning about genetic engineering. The group is joined by the guys go tour the park. They see there are several enclosures, and they go into the cage of place of the Triceratops, but a storm comes. Most of the park employees leave on mainland on a boat so the visitors can return to electric tour vehicles, except Sattler, who stays behind with the park's veterinarian to study the Triceratops. Jurassic Park's lead programmer, Dennis, has been bribed by this guy called Douglason, a man working for Hammond's rival, to steal dinosaur embryos. Ned Reed deactivates the park security system to gain access to an embryo storage room, and they get the other ones in the saving creep out. The power goes out, basically, and all of the stuff that happens, like all the dinosaur stuff happens. The T-Rex escapes. The T-Rex kills the guy in the bathroom. And some of the most important iconic scenes happen in the movie and movie history. The whole T-Rex sock fit, the whole stomping and the water moving, and the fat guy gets killed by the Dilophosaurus. Don't forget about that. The guy helps the park named Warden Sattler. Robert searches for survivors, but we can find Malcolm. Just before the T-Rex returns, Grant, Tim, and Rex take shelter in a tree top. They later discover the broken cells of dinosaur eggs. Grant concludes the dinosaurs are behaving because they compare it to West African whole bullfrogs who can change their sex from male to female if there's no males around. Unable to decipher the code, Hammond and the park's chief engineer, Ray Arnold, reboot the park system. The group shuts down the park and the kid almost dies. Very sad. But he still managed to survive. They discover the shutdown has deactivated the remaining fences and releases the raptors. The whole raptor scene happens. The girl and the guy and the little girl and the little boy have to go away from the raptors and stuff. And then Arnold Severed Arm well, since the raptors killed him. Meanwhile, Rodan is caught by a crowd, and the whole raptor scene happens after, and the T-Rex kills the raptors and Jurassic, and everybody escapes, with the exception of the people who were killed by the T-Rex, and the raptors, and the fat guy. Jurassic Park was a great movie about dinosaurs. Dinosaurs are very cool animals. And it was made by Steven Spielberg, the same guy who made Jaws, Indiana Jones, and many other classic movies that came out over the years. This is based off the Marvel book of the same name called Jurassic Park. I don't really read books, so I don't have an opinion on the book, and I'm not going to compare the movie to the book because I haven't read the book yet. Basically, Jurassic Park is a very great movie about dinosaurs, and it was a very unique movie because it was like the first major movie since Godzilla to have dinosaurs in the movie at the main point. And Godzilla is actually a dinosaur. Just saying that, Godzilla is actually a dinosaur. Jurassic Park is one of the most iconic movies of all time, so the most iconic scenes. And it's a movie, if you like dinosaurs, you'll like this film. There are people who don't like this film, but it's very far in between. So that gives Jurassic Park, the movie, a 9.5 out of 10. Goodbye.